Welcome to Kitchen Counter Crafts. If you like this video, would you please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Today I'm going to make some glimmer mists, and we will try a couple different things on how these guys turn out. But basically, I'm trying to save a buck and trying to figure out what is a good way to make them. So this is one that I made a long time ago, and I cannot remember what the heck was in it. So that does us no good, but I think I can kind of figure it out. It has some paint in it for sure. So I looked up a couple of recipes basically online, and one of them, one thing for sure. Okay, let me just cover what we need first before I get into this part of it. That might be good. So for sure you need Peal Ex, and if you don't have Peal Ex, you need some sort of eyeshadow or highlighter or something, and the sparklier and fine, the better. So you kind of want it to be like, you know, eyeshadow, glittery consistency. The other thing that some of the other places recommend is Mica Powders, and I don't know why or what I was doing, but I bought these a long time ago, and apparently I was in a neon phase. I have never used these, so don't remember what the heck they were for, but that is not the vibe for my junk journals because they're all antique-y looking, so we cannot do neons there. So anyway, I don't know, that doesn't really do anything for me. So Mica Powders, eyeshadows, maybe even highlighters, or Peal Ex. And then everybody said if you use Peal Ex, you need this gum Arabic powder, which I ended up just buying online, and that's basically like a binder for the Peal Ex. Otherwise all your glitter is going to fall to the bottom and it's not going to do you any good. So it helps it to like bind and do some good things like watercolors. So you can use mica powder and then gum Arabic to make your own watercolors. Oh, aha, idea. Maybe now I can use those for watercolors. Okay, I'll just file that thought later. I just thought of it right now. And then a couple other websites said use alcohol ink, so I'm going to tell you about my adventure there. And then some said if you're using alcohol inks, make sure you have isopropyl alcohol to make your mist stuff like dry faster. And then you need distilled water, which I've got a pitcher over here. So a big old pitcher. All right, right there. And of course you need some stencils and stuff to try that on. I bought those, I think, on Amazon. That's a massive stencil. Then I have some little ones as well. Okay, now, oh yeah, and glue. All right, so glue. If you do not want to go out and buy a bunch of stuff, I would recommend start with eyeshadows. And then instead of this as your binding agent, use good old Elmer's glue. And so I'll tell you how that works out in there as well. So this is my like almost dead bottle of Elmer's there. Another thing you're gonna need are these spray bottles. So I bought some online, just on Amazon, and they're pretty cheap. So, you know, by the time you end up doing all that, are you like just out? And should you have just purchased the Glimmer mist? I don't know. Most of them are like $7.99, $6.99 a bottle. So I got all my bottles for $6.99, but there's like a big stack of them in there. So you can make a whole bunch of Glimmer mists, and then I think you're going to end up coming out better if you use the stuff that you have on hand. And then you have paints and stuff too. So once again, to recap what you need, you're going to need eyeshadows. You will need Elmer's glue. You need a bottle. You need water, so distilled water. And then to make your colors more intense, some just acrylic color. Okay, so the first thing I did was I made this one here to try and recreate. And like I said, I went online and looked at a couple different recipes, so to speak, of how to make the glimmer mist. And this is like a cool bronzy, I wanted like a champagne color. So it looks super dark, right? But it's not, and I'm going to show you. So the first thing I read was fill up your bottle up to like 2/3 with rubbing alcohol, and then fill up the rest with water. So I did that. It was like a ton, like 2/3 with rubbing alcohol. And what I was doing in there is then adding like my brownish alcohol inks. This one's called Latte. And so I just added a bunch of browns, and I added my Pearl Ex, and then I added this gum Arabic powder, and then I sprayed, and look what happened. Nothing really. Look, I don't know, can you see this? So it just kind of like dirtied up the paper and then made it shiny. But you cannot tell I had a stencil on there. There's my little chicken scratch. It says alcohol inks, 12 to 14 drops of that dark brown, if you can believe it. And then alcohol, water, and Pearl Ex. So it did nothing. I think the alcohol like negated my alcohol inks. So I was left with some really pretty white paper, sparkle paper. That is not what I wanted. The other thing I noticed is that that actually comes off. So your pearls are going to come off because there's not anything to really allow it to adhere to the paper. So it doesn't come off bad. Like you're not going to be left with disco hands by the time you're done, but it does come off. So then I thought, okay, I'm going to go back to my original recipe, which I know had some acrylic paint in it. So I went, and you've seen me use this in other videos too. So I love this paint. It's this Anita's metallic bronze. And so I just put like 1 or 2 drops of like nice sized drops of paint in this mixture that I had already kind of created with the alcohol ink. And this is what I got. So a little bit better. You can see some sort of design on there, right? Can you see it? Okay, and then you can see it's shimmery, so it's not bad. And then it does not come off because I put some glue in there. Now, the only question I have is the glue gonna make my pump sticky? So I don't know, because I don't think so, because there's so much water and alcohol in there. I think it kind of does away with the glue. But I believe the other recipe, like another one called for, you can use hairspray. And that, again, is going to help your Pearl Ex kind of stick to paper. So then okay, this says glue and then more drops of the paint. And so this one you can actually now finally see the stencil. So I wanted to show you online how, I'll grab my paper, how that looks on a fresh piece of paper. And here's my stencil. It's like henna pattern. And so I've had this kind of sitting here on the counter for a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and spray, spray, spray. Ooh, it's drippy, drippy. Come on now. Hard to kind of show what I'm doing while I'm doing it. But hey, that's how this goes, right? Okay, I know the stencil moved, but you know what? I don't really care. Okay, now the alcohol, I wish this was smell-o-vision. It's like crazy smelling. So I guess for COVID, this is not a bad thing to use like so much alcohol on this. But I will tell you, it's, whew, that is some stinky stuff. And some of the other ones just said you don't even need alcohol. And so what I'm doing now is just kind of making sure that I get some of this other. This is just extra paper from handouts I made at church that we're not using anymore. So I brought them home to Junk Journal. Woohoo! So check that out. That's just water. So that's not the stain. But this is, ooh, okay. I didn't do that great of a job spraying. But you can see on here you have a little bit more color. And then you have glitter. Okay, so that's just soaking wet. So we're gonna let that dry and then move on to our next thing. So this one here, that I had used. I wanted to show you what that looks like. And it is super dark when it goes on, but it dries to this super gorgeous color. I thought that is really, really pretty. And it has a great, great shine to it. So I use that on, of course, coffee dyed paper, and it is really pretty. So that one is nice. And let me show you what this looks like. Oh, you have to give all of these a pretty good shake, even if you have like some sort of binding agent in there. And then I'm sure we're gonna have to be cleaning this nozzle out. But look at how dark that is. See? And then just for the sake of the video, let me just dab it, and then you'll see like it dries pretty nice and light. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen to the one that we just sprayed. And then by the time I'm done with this video, we can see it again, and it's still really wet because I just did it. So I don't know if I just picked it up. All right, so this one is pretty decent, and you saw it on the coffee dyed paper. So I'm going to put those aside. So now we're going to make one so that I can kind of walk you through the one that works pretty well. So we're going to just use this. Now, the rubbing alcohol, there's no magic to it. It was to help your stuff dry a little bit faster, but I will tell you there's like zero difference in how fast it's drying. It's not drying fast for me at all. So my whole thing is, why waste rubbing alcohol on it? There's kind of no point to it. So I'm going to put some water in this. Hopefully I'm on screen still. Yikes. Okay, so I'm going to just fill that up, and then we'll add our other stuff to it. Oh, you know what? I kind of want more. All right. Oops, not that much. All right, right there. So almost to the top. And then I'll show you that I want to make like a pinkish. So the alcohol inks don't do really anything for me, except get them on the counter. So that's like a few drops of that. And if we just stop there, so that's just water and alcohol ink. I'll show you what that looks like. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh yeah, and Peal Ex. Forgot about that. Let me cover up my alcohol ink. And by the way, this was Adirondack Wild Plum. Go back. Peal Ex looks like this. It's just a really gorgeous pearly powder. And people have like really amazing scoops and stuff. I just have the back of a spoon, and I'm putting in like a little smidge of it, just like you would like your eyeshadow powders and stuff. So there's that. And then instead of the gum Arabic, we're going to use good old school glue. And oh, please come out. Because like I said, this was like almost dead. I probably should have grabbed a new bottle. Is it going to come out? Oh yeah, there's some. Okay. There's like a couple drops there. Okay, that's probably a lot. Alrighty. I'm glad that came out. Thank you for cooperating with me. So that's going to be like our binding agent. And like I said, other people are using like hairspray and stuff like that. Basically, you want something sticky that's going to help your stuff bind. Ooh, hot pink. So just like this one, when you saw me spray that, it came out super light. I'm hoping that this is going to be pretty light, but we'll see how that goes. I have like a tray, is it called trefoil pattern that I like. So we're going to put that down and see. Move the camera. I don't want to move my laboratory here. Okay, let's see how that looks. Actually, I'm going to use my honeycomb instead because I just don't want like a ton of it. Let's see. And it looks so pretty, like shimmery anyway. Let's see there. You can see it. Ooh, ooh la la. Okay, that's lovely. And then what I love to do is like just put some of this down too. Because you know you're going to be using this in your junk journal, so why waste it? I saw this, by the way, the flipping over dually by Pam from the Paper Outpost does that. And I thought that was really a great idea because you then get variations in your ink as well. Okay, I'm going to tell you that is gorgeous. Okay, me likey. So that turned out great. And that is pink with water and alcohol inks, and I didn't really do anything else to it, so I didn't end up using my my paint. So now I'm going to make one with paint, and it's going to be purple. We're going to do the same purple, same thing. Grab a bottle, fill it up with water. Okay, wanted to do that there. There's my water. And then I do have, like, it's called eggplant, but I am going to, oh, and by the way, if you don't have alcohol inks, you can use food coloring. What a concept. So we are now going to use some of this, and this is Crocus, Anita's acrylic paint in Crocus, which is, whoops, purple. Okay, this way you can see how much paint I put in there. There we go. It's just kind of plopped on the bottom there. Just lovely. Just lovely verbs I'm using. We're going to use the same amount. Actually, that might be a little more, but you know, me and shine, that's not a problem. And there's a lot of Pearl Ex in here that you can use. Oh, by the way, I got mine from Hobby Lobby. Forgot to mention that. And then a dab of glue. So, there we go. 2 dabs. So here's my glue that's floating in there. You got my paint, and you've got the Pearl Ex, and then that's it. So water, paint, glue, Pearl Ex. Let's try this and see what we got. Oh, yes. And I was hoping for like a lavenderish color. Okay, that's just pretty. And I'm great with the lights because, again, I want this for junk journaling, so I want to be able to write. And these, I'm wondering if this purple is going to be like the same as that one. Huh. Let us see. Okay. That's even lighter. So, that's so funny. My purple is looking more like pink. My pink is looking more like purple. That's weird. Okay, so that like did not even, the color didn't even come out. Wow, what in the heck? So let's try that again. Look at that. So alcohol inks, great color. Acrylics, not so much. I'm gonna set that down to dry. We're gonna add more color to this. And you saw how much I put in there, like 2 blobs. So let's see, where am I? There I am. So kind of like a squirt in there, and shaky, shaky. Oh, make sure you have your napkins and paper towels and all kinds of stuff because you're gonna need it. All right, let me get another sheet of paper. Let's try that out. You know, I like the pinks and the purples, so I don't even mind that we're using a bunch of this here. Let me get all that out. Okay. Can you even see what I'm doing? I can't even see what I'm doing. There we go. shake it up and let's spray. Ooh, that would have been bad. Spraying the wrong way up at the camera. Not the best idea. Okay, that's looking more purple. So I think in our experiment, we have found out that just the acrylic paint does not for sure give you all that lovely, gorgeous color that the other one does. But you know, this isn't too bad, but look how dark this looks. And it's only coming out this light. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go ahead and try and put that eggplant in there, and let's see. Looks like I have another purple. Ooh, purple twilight. Let's do that one. We're gonna go with purple twilight because I do want this as purpley as I can get it. Although that color, gotta say, that's not so bad. So I'm not gonna add too much more. 1 and a 2. I added 2 drops and then touch my finger with it. Okay, again, if you don't have alcohol inks, not to worry, just add a little bit more paint. You shall be good to go. That's looking more purplish. And again, it's kind of scary how purple that looks, but when you come down to it, it ain't that purple, is it? Okay, so there's my positives and negatives. And did I mention Pam at the Paper Outpost for the positive and the negative images? I think it's super cool. And look at the Peal Ex though. Shiny, shiny, shiny. So pretty. So I hope that this helped you to see that you can really quickly, and easily, like in the last 20 minutes, we made 2 more of these and just kind of played around and experimented. This was just with alcohol inks and it turned out fabulous. This is alcohol inks and rubbing alcohol and paint and a whole bunch of mess, and it turned out super light still. And then this is, and by the way, these are just water-based except for this one that I messed up and put a whole bunch of alcohol in it. And then this is water, glue, Peal Ex, and mostly paint, but then I cheated at the end and put in the alcohol inks. And this one is a mystery one. We shall not know what is in that one. And so hopefully that helped you to figure out how to make your very own glitter shimmery goodness. And I hope that this encourages you to just, I don't know, experiment and try and see what you come up with and enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed me experimenting tonight. So until next time, see ya. Bye.